Oh, that's how they gave you a shit, G? That's a water cup, dog.
But it laid on that bitch, bro.
Hey, they gave this man his Chick-fil-A.
Look, listen. I'm not trying to give up my location, but it's the Chick-fil-A by the stadium. This right here is out of fucking second. All right, $5 for this.
A water cup.
For a kid's cup.
Water
for
cup.
a kid's cup.
Water cup, dog. That's what they give you. That's a water cup.
This is pitiful.
All right, man.
What's up?
First episode of the It's Up podcast.
Go.
Me and my boy Cam, co-host. My brother from another. But basically, man, this podcast is just some of our wildest dreams, man. We've been talking about this for a long time. We've been influenced by a lot of people, you know. Me and Cam have been on this topic for like years. When we finally pulled the trigger, we thought, man, we always liking podcasts and naming things we don't like about podcasts. So we decided to do our own. We're gonna be a versatile podcast, talk about a lot of topics, trending topics, sports, music, culture, a whole bunch of little things, you know. But first off, we're gonna tell you like our influences off the podcast. Me and Cam, big sports fans. We reside in Atlanta. This podcast being filmed in Atlanta right now. So but our influences on this podcast, I mean, like we were talking before the episode,
Gotta go with it.
first take, man. I mean, first take. We gotta show love to first take, man.
As a show in general. You know what I'm saying?
As a show, Stephen A.
Show in
Smith,
general.
Max Kellerman, Molly Kareem, like those people showed us a lot, man.
Even Skip Bayless. I don't like Skip Bayless.
We're not a
But
fan,
even
man.
Skip Bayless.
But I mean, yeah, for sure. Cause like I think it was when the Super Bowl in Atlanta. What year that was? You think?
2017. That was our senior year.
2018. But that was our
It was our senior year.
Super Bowl was in Atlanta, and me and Cam actually went to the live set, man. It was one of our biggest dreams. And we dropped everything we had going. We even dropped work for that day. It was like, we both did construction at the time. We dropped work. We gotta go see them. We loved them from afar, so we had to go see them in person.
Early with it.
So early, man. Like probably 5 a.m. with it. But that's probably our biggest influence on the podcast. I mean, you got any more influences? I mean, I know that's common influence for us.
Yeah, I definitely think that. Well, I mean, we've always talked about having our own show even before like the I Am Athlete came out and stuff like that. We've always talked about our own show, but I think that as far as a podcast, it really gave us the idea of where to start.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what It's Up is, man. It's Up the podcast. This is just the start. This is
Like we got the name from just positivity. I mean, I'm keeping it 100. You know, the It's Up saying it's a Atlanta saying, but we took it and ran with it because like, man, everything we're gonna do in life is gonna be up. Positivity. We don't like no negativity. Even though we might speak negatively on this podcast and show, it's always gonna be up.
And we're negative with reason.
Yeah.
It's negativity
critiquing
with reason. It's not like we just hating on it or hating on the situation or pocket watching. Like, nah, it's like when we critique, you know, it's with intention of hoping there's improvement.
Yeah, there we go. Just like we hope y'all critique our podcast and help us improve.
Please do.
So
in the comments below, please help us and make sure you subscribe. That's another thing. I let Ryan do the introduction today. He forgot to leave that out. Gotta subscribe below, okay?
Please. All right, so let's get started with our first topic, man. First topic of the day, we're gonna talk about the old media versus the new media. Word to Draymond Green, he started the new media kind of montage and all that controversy. Basically, the old media is a bunch of, you know, I don't want to call them old heads, but just older people who just never played the sport, never was actually in it, never jumped off the porch, never was on the field, you know, just talking from a distance and talking as if they knew things they really didn't know, going based off stats instead of just, you know, real life experiences. That's the old media. But this new media format is more like Draymond Green introduced it. Basically like players who are actually playing now, or they got their own little outlets and, you know, podcasts and things like that though. But I mean, we're gonna take away from pros and cons of both situations. So I mean, what you like about the old media? What you like about the old media? Like, if you like anything at all.
I mean, I think the old media you have to give recognition to. I mean, Stephen A. Smith would be considered old media.
He is. He's one of the old medias I like.
Stuart Scott, the likes of Stuart Scott.
R.P. Stuart Scott, man. For real.
Old media. Malcolm Smith, who was a long time worker for ESPN, and his podcast is really good as well. You have a few out there that are Bomani Jones.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've always liked him. What's her one name? You like her?
You talking
Mina Kimes. Mina
Kimes?
Mina Kimes.
Oh.
Mina Kimes. Like she
love you. If you watching, we love you, Mina.
Yeah, we do. But you know, I think that you also have to like the old media is harsh, and a lot of their judgment is controversial. A lot of it is sometimes not genuine. Sometimes it is something for people to react. And that's just old media. Because a lot of times you're working for networks, which, you know, you got to produce numbers and got to be the best show on and so forth and so forth. And that's just what you get from it. But there's a lot of positives that come with it. And I think the new media also, with it being from a first-hand perspective, you got controversy in that. You know, I think that there are some things that, you know, players can kind of stir the pot, you know, just by commenting on. Because that's one thing about the new media is that we're seeing a lot of current players. One thing that we've always seen former players go on networks. We've always seen former players be analysts or whatnot, but we haven't really seen current players leaving from the NBA Finals. Going straight
to a podcast.
To a podcast.
Talking about what they just endured.
That's raw emotion. That's raw feelings. You know what I'm saying?
Uncut.
So sometimes, you know, you got to take some things that are said with a grain of salt. You know what I mean? Because, like I say, you know, it's the heat of the moment, and that's raw, and that's something we've never got to see. The old media never got to show us that side of our favorite players. From our favorite sports and whatnot. So, you know,
and I feel like the old media is just a lot of like, I don't want to say hate, but just a lot of just like shit talking, because like I feel like that's how they get their audience. Like a Skip Bayless, like he's just a natural born hater of LeBron James.
He's a hater,
but that gives him his viewers.
He's a natural born hater.
I mean,
he's the winner of the hater ball.
But that gives him his audience and stuff, and I don't like that, bro. I don't like that at all. I think you can still get like a big audience without just not even just critiquing, critiquing and just like hate. It's hating. Cause come on now, you saying stuff about LeBron James that's clearly not true. But okay, but no, yeah, that basically our talking about on the old media, new media, and shit like that. So
I think that we definitely, one thing we should touch on, like you said, we here in Atlanta, and there's a lot of. I'm not an Atlanta fan. I want to make that known. My family, I claim Pittsburgh. You know what I'm saying? So I don't hate, and I don't like, you know, Atlanta sports. You know what I'm saying? But
this man love the Hawks.
But while we here on the topic, Pittsburgh don't got a basketball team.
So he Hawks fan by association.
It's by default. But I think we should definitely talk about the future of Atlanta sports, because I think right now we are in just growing up here is very unfamiliar territory. You know, I think that for the first time, I think for a long time in Atlanta sports, there's always either one good team out of all the sports that is good,
and the rest is just,
or no good team. We all not hitting on nothing. And I think right now we're in a position, man, where I mean, you got the Braves, just coming off of a championship and making a comeback.
Defending world champs, don't forget it. The Atlanta Braves, defending world champs. I had to say that. We don't hear that a lot.
Anyways,
we don't hear that a lot. Gotta say that.
Anyways, do it again.
Back to back on the way.
So we're seeing the Braves though make a strong push, and not just a playoff push, but to win their division.
Win the championship again.
We see the Hawks coming off of what many would consider a disappointing season with expectations going in, but how the season started off, I mean, they fulfilled expectations.
They did.
Where they were at the All-Star break. It made some big moves. And then you also have the Falcons with a lot of change. Julio Jones last year being traded, and then this year, losing, You know, in my opinion, probably the greatest Falcon of all time.
I agree. I do agree. His tenure and the way he just stayed true to Atlanta, he's all about Atlanta. I love Matt Ryan for that.
It was.
He's our franchise quarterback for a decade plus, and you can't take nothing away from the man.
So with that being said, let me ask a real true Atlanta fan, how do you feel about the future of Atlanta sports?
I ain't gonna lie, man. I feel like it's, as a whole, with all three sports combined, I feel like we're on a uprising like I haven't seen before. Cause like you said, one team will be thriving, then the next will be like shitty. You know what I mean? Like, but I mean, I think we all doing the Hawks and the Braves. They strive for championships. You know what I mean? They strive. But now the Falcons, I love. Hey. A-Town top dog, but hey, the Falcons, man, we got a long way till we talk about championships again, bro. I think we're doing a lot better than folks giving us credit for. So, I think CBS Sports, it gave us 2-15. Come on now, that's downright disrespectful. Come on now, we won 2 games in the season. We shouldn't even be up. We shouldn't even be at 17. Nah, come on, hell no. Hell no. I'm telling you right now on the podcast, if we go 2-15, I'm done with the Falcons game. What? If we go 2-15, I'm cutting my dreads. It's on the podcast. I will cut these dreads. I swear to God. If we win 2 games, I will cut these dreads. I swear to God. And it's on the first episode of the It's Up podcast. We'll come back here for that. Okay. When we win 3 games, I'm going to bring that up. When we win our 3rd game of the season, I'm going to bring this up so I know I can keep my dreads.
When the football season starts, until y'all win 2 games, we're showing that clip every episode. We're going to show that clip every single episode. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Hey, come on, bring it on. But nah, yeah, okay. But other than the Falcons, though, I mean, like the Braves, I think they're close to defending the title again. The Braves are a great team, top 5 team in Major League Baseball by far. Just to make some, it's the trade deadline today. Just made some major moves, but that's another topic for another story.
Major?
They're not as far as headline. No, they're not gonna make the headline, but they're gonna help us. I don't think you've seen the Iglesias dude we just got from the Angels.
Okay, I did.
A great reliever.
I just got the.
A great reliever. Right. And we needed that because we just lost Will Smith. And
Will Smith wasn't doing shit.
But he was like a 7th inning guy.
Yes.
He was in our rotation. You know what I mean?
A couple things I gotta say. A couple things that might raise controversy. People might look at me crazy. People might test my sports intelligence. But I'm gonna tell you one thing. I got this from my grandmother, Reva Woodson. Okay. And mind you, one thing about Reva Woodson is that she did time in the Marine Corps. She did time for the U.S. Army. She did time for the FBI, and she also did time for Homeland Security. All right, she done work for all 4 branches of the government. You hear me? You hear me? You did. There's only 3. She worked for all 4.
She should be getting a check.
Don't worry about it. She drive with no license. Ain't never had a license.
Damn.
Always driving. Always.
All right. Go ahead, Mister. You got something to say?
But back to this point. My Pittsburgh Steelers will win the AFC North Division. Everybody got us finishing last. Some got us finishing in 3rd place behind the Baltimore Ravens and these Cincinnati Bengals.
Put some respect on that name, man. They just went to the Super Bowl. You can't call them the Bengals right now.
Cincinnati Bengals. I'll call them the Cincinnati Burrows. Cincinnati Burrows. Because that's the only thing that they got. And I'm telling you right now, he's not going to be able to do what he just did.
They just upgraded the whole line.
Listen, upgrade on paper. Upgrade on paper. Let's see.
Hey, word on the street. That new right tackle about to handle TJ Watt. Hey, I ain't say it. That's the word on the street. I ain't say it. I don't think so.
There's not a tackle in the football league that can handle TJ Watt.
Okay. But real shit though, man. Why do you think y'all finna really win the division? Y'all ain't even got y'all QB situation figured out, man.
We do have our QB situation figured out. The media doesn't. The old media, like we talked about, doesn't have our situation figured out.
Who's your starting quarterback then? Let's see.
Mitchell Trubisky. And Mitch we trust.
I don't trust Mitch. Not one bit. Hey, man, Mitch has done some great things.
Listen,
Play off for the Bears.
Look, I'm going to tell you one thing you should have did. I'm going to tell you when you should have earned his trust. You should have earned his trust when he chose to go to the Pittsburgh Steelers. When he chose to wear the black and gold, that's when you should have earned his trust. Because, come on now, that was a smart move.
Where else he's finna go, G? I don't know he had some. He would have had.
Could have went to the Falcons.
We don't want him.
Stop. Y'all signed Marcus Mariota.
Hey, and Marcus gonna have a better season than Mitch.
Marcus not even gonna finish the season as quarterback.
Mitch might not neither.
Stop.
Mitch might not neither.
Unless he get hurt.
Mitch might not neither. Y'all got a quarterback itching to get in the game.
I got another unpopular opinion. Mitch Trubisky going to the Pro Bowl.
All right, nah. You on lost me with that motherfucker. Come on now, G.
Okay.
Come on, bro.
I'm telling you.
Come on, Pro Bowl.
I'm telling you. 35 touchdowns this year.
This man only talking like this.
35 touchdowns this year.
If he get 35 touchdowns, he getting 50 picks.
35 and 10. He's going
35 and 50.
35 and 10. 35 and 10.
35 and 50.
35 and 10. We got playmakers on the outside. We got playmakers in the backfield. We got playmakers on the defense.
So, okay, perfect. So, Mitch ain't got no excuse to fumble.
That's why I said 35 and 10.
Okay, all right. Because y'all do got playmakers. Y'all do.
Because Mitch had excuses in Chicago. Mitch had plenty of excuses. Mitch had a head coach.
He got none here. He got defense. Mitch got receivers. He got a running game. The O-line's a little shaky. It's a little shaky. A little bit.
Getting it together.
Exactly. Patchwork. But no, Mitch ain't got too many excuses, man. So, and he can move a little bit, so he not like, he ain't stationary like little Tom Brady. So he ain't little roll out. So he ain't got no excuses.
Old ass Ben.
There we go. He's a little.
He was slow. He was broken down. He was slow.
Exactly, man. Ben gained a little too much weight. It's
It
all right,
is.
though.
It is.
QB position.
It is.
Yes, sir. But not to go off y'all, but the rest of the division. Because that matters in the division race.
Okay.
Who's in your division matters.
Okay.
The Ravens.
I'm not worried about them whatsoever. Not even at the slightest. I don't even look at them and be like, "Ooh, we play the Ravens this year." You know why? Because I want you. I can pull up the stats for you. But Lamar Jackson has 0 success against that Steelers defense, and it don't matter who the hell it.
He has a W against y'all?
No, I don't think so.
He ain't never won a game against y'all.
I do not think so.
Lamar never won a game against y'all?
I do not. We just swept them this past year.
If that's
we just swept them this past year. Okay.
If that's true, if Lamar ain't got no W, y'all got it. I ain't lie.
Oh, okay. Oh, no. You're right. And the first game he got against us is when Mason Rudolph played, and Mason Rudolph got knocked out the game by Earl Thomas, blase, looking like a goddamn fool. I swear to God, if Mason Rudolph finishes off this season, Mike Tomlin, me and you go talk, okay?
Mike don't talk to you, man.
I know.
Some bunch of million fans thinking the same shit you think. I'm about to get a one-on-one meeting with Mike Tomlin.
Yeah,
it ain't happening.
It ain't happening yet.
Mike ain't sniffing that. It ain't happening. Hey, it's up. You're going to take us there.
Hey.
We're going to have Mike on the show.
When Mike is on this show,
maybe.
It's up.
It's up.
Hey, it's up. You hear me? Okay.
So, so, not too many people agree with what you're saying. So we'll call that a little unpopular opinion. And then you stand on what you said. Stand on it.
Y'all, listen.
Brother said he going to win a division. What's the record going to be? Let's hear that.
Record? 11-6. How many games we got?
17.
Okay, 11-6.
11-6. Okay.
11-6.
I'm gonna look at y'all schedule, and I'm gonna get back to you on that. Please do. But
it's a tough schedule.
So yeah.
Hey, it's a tough schedule.
And like you said,
we played the Bengals first game.
So you giving them credit now? That's a tough schedule. You playing the Bengals? So
listen,
you giving them credit.
I give them credit as far as, like I said, I'll call them the Cincinnati Burrows. For as long as with Joe Burrow playing quarterback for them, then yes, they have an offensive power where you got to go into that game having to score 21 plus points. You do.
Not even just
Now, that's
Burrow.
what
They
I
got
was
receivers.
Listen,
They do. They got a little
listen.
three receiver tandem. You know what I mean? They got receivers over there. You can't hate on that. Huh?
Nothing.
You was just loving Tyler Boyd a year ago.
He didn't do that last year.
That's cat, bro.
He
He did a little something.
He did exactly number 3
And
something.
what he needed
Number
to
3
do.
something.
What he needed to do.
Number 3 something.
My unpopular opinion. Tyler Boyd, we'll get back to the Tyler Boyd things. 600 plus yards, 6 tutties. That's good. That's good for Tyler Boyd.
Touchdowns. He had 1,000-yard seasons. He's had 2,000-yard seasons.
Brother, he got T. Higgins.
He's had
He got Jamar Chase
2,000-yard season though. 600 yards is not good for
That
nobody.
is good when you got
Touch
Jamar
that.
Chase and T. Higgins, and there's only one football to go around. That's good. You get 600 yards with them two players over there. Hey man, that's a good season for Tyler Boyd. Plus 6 tutties, you did your job.
We'll see.
And he might find another two role on another team.
So then that means you're telling me that they're going to be very explosive. If he got 6 tutties and 600 yards, then that means T. Higgins. That means Jamar Chase has more yards.
That don't
than
mean
that
no,
6.
no. That don't mean that.
No.
That don't mean that. Even though he's a number 3 receiver, don't mean he gotta have number 3 stats.
No.
He can have number 2 receiver production, but he is the number 3 receiver going against probably the worst corner on another team's team. A nickel, a nickel. He might be lined up on the outside. A nickel might fall on him, and he might dust him.
He probably get 200 of them yards whenever they play you. But and if he does, that's the only reason.
Too bad they don't play us,
Yes,
man.
they do.
We play. Oh, you right.
Come on.
Hey, he not getting that against us, man.
Hey, that's the only reason he gonna get 600.
He might get started.
That's the only reason he gonna get 600.
All right. Okay, that's an unpopular opinion.
It's the only reason
Unpopular
Tyler
opinion.
Boyd gonna get 600.
Unpopular opinion.
T-Boy, listen, I mean no disrespect, my dog. You know I know you, dog. You a
Pittsburgh legend.
You a Pittsburgh legend, dog. For real.
Don't play with that boy.
For real. You played against my cousin over there. My cousin played for Gateway.
Where at?
Thomas, what he played at
Gateway, stand up.
Gateway, stand up. Y'all already know. Gateway Gators. What are you talking about?
All right, Mister. Okay, that's your popular opinion. Steelers gonna win the division. 11-6 record. They're gonna win it with 11-6 record. I think y'all gonna easily 12, but it's whatever though. That's okay. All right.
Cincinnati only had 10 last year.
Okay, you're right. But I mean, let's try. Since we're versatile, let's transition to fashion. Some more popular opinions about the fashion.
Fashion.
I don't know if you agree, but I don't like how it's making it too easy for folks nowadays. For folks to all they gotta do is put on a brand name product. Don't gotta have nothing else. They putting that shit on to people. They looking up the par. Just because they got the little brand name, little $500 t-shirt on. My popular opinion, I don't think that makes you, dog. I think it's how you wear it over what you wear. I think it's how you wear it. But I'm not saying put on a Walmart tee and Walmart pants, Walmart shoes, and the way you put it on is icy. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying these brand names hold a little too much weight in my opinion. They hold a little too much weight in my unpopular opinion.
Okay.
Like just because you throw on a little Balenciaga, little fat shoes, you doing the damn thing. No, I don't think, no. You're going to have to put on more than just Balenciaga shoes in my opinion. You're going to have to put on a little, nice little, I ain't going to tell you how to dress. But I just want to dead the fact that folks put on Balenciaga fat ass shoes and then a little Prada shirt and you putting that shit on. Nah. You're going to have to get a little more creative. That style goes a little bit deeper than that. It's just, that's not enough for me, man. It's becoming too easy, like I said, for the younger generation. I mean, and that's our generation. We got to stop that shit, man. Yeah. Our generation just thinks that they can throw on whatever and then, they the truth. Nah. And there's too many lames doing that. Too many lames doing that, bro.
Hey.
And they taking the easy way out.
If they can pay for it, you know what I'm saying, they're going to get it. And they're going to put it on.
I mean, bro, cool, bro.
I think that fashion is just that. I mean, I will say the evolution of fashion, though, has been really seen and noticeable, though. You are right. But I think that you've also been seeing a area and a group of people, that are really using fashion to express themselves.
And I love that about our generation.
thrifting, for example.
There we go.
Has been popular
Yo,
since
man, you
I was
remember
in middle school.
when we was in high school, man? Folks was skipping class in high school. I can name their names, but I ain't gonna do them like that. Folks was skipping class in high school, literally, to go to thrift stores and just I like that about a generation.
100%. Macklemore had a song, literally, that blew.
Damn,
that was
man, I'm not a Macklemore
It was a
fan.
number one song, okay, on the Billboard, and it literally was Thrift Shop. That was the name of it.
I'm not no Macklemore fan, but he did. He had a big influence in that. He really did.
And that was
Good tune.
and that was good. That was good. And what it did was, and even for today, for today, you see a lot of custom fashion things that came from thrift stores, that came from hand-me-down clothes. You know what I'm saying?
And I don't find no shame in that.
You see, I'll say this: custom brand names, custom apparel.
Yeah.
That take pieces that are either from a Louis Vuitton beach towel or Louis Vuitton a scarf or Dior
and make something out of that.
And make something.
And I like that, bro.
out
I'm
of
saying
it.
it's
You know,
pros and cons to all those generations.
that is what you want to see from the likes of the producer of Louis Vuitton. A lot of the times what we get from the custom work from one, I think the one that speaks out, I think of in his Instagram is Exclusive Game.
I was just about to say him, dog.
Definitely. Check him out.
He'll take a little scarf and make that motherfucker a whole shirt.
Beach towel.
For
And
sure.
make a whole top and shorts. You know what I'm saying?
No, he will. I was just about to say
Crazy.
this again.
And that right there is what you expect when you go into these stores. And we've been in them, we shopped in them, we buy them, we're guilty of it as well.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say I have done it,
But when we go, you're a little disappointed because of what you see. We're just like anybody else. I mean, we see rappers, we see entertainers, we see athletes, and we're inspired to and inclined to purchase, these name brands, and because they hold value. They do have a dollar.
they hold
dollar
stature,
tag, a stature.
And you know what the big influence on that is? It's just really just social media. Social media, man. Social media is such a pro and con type thing, 100%. Man. It can be so negative and draining and toxic sometimes, but sometimes it can influence a lot and just show the world on like what's really going on. So I love social media, man. Like I said, it's real. It can be real toxic sometimes. But I like the fact that social media can really it can connect a lot of people. It connect a lot of people in ways we didn't see in the past. Yeah. Instead of watching the news to see about some important things, important achievements of people, we just go on Instagram.
See it. Or Twitter.
It's social media.
Yeah.
Social media. Get on Twitter and see MVP award or something. Like, we don't gotta flick on the cable. We ain't gotta flick on ESPN and hear about the MVP awards or something like that. Things we don't think about this, but things like Bleacher Report, that's a social media. That is.
It is.
You wouldn't think that ESPN app, that's a social media. That is. And it's connecting people. That's the pro I like about social media. Another con we just named is like things like, somebody take a little picture of them just looking down with a little Prada logo, a Prada logo on their shirt, or a Balenciaga logo on their shirt.
Looking like that's him.
Yo, he's him.
That's him. I need to get like that.
Nah, man.
You gotta think about it.
If he loses in real life,
they having a Lambo or a Ferrari that's ready.
Yeah. And they're not even looking up at the camera, looking down.
Yep, looking down.
That's the con. It's pros and cons of social media. Social media is such a iffy topic, man. I mean, like, in what ways do you think social media can improve and get better? Like, which way we can really just make it a pro? I mean, I don't want to keep hearing all the cons in social media, you know what I mean?
So, with the abilities and what's allowed with social media, it's always going to be hard to kind of see, like, it ever being one way where it's only a positive place, because you still have people who can comment on your pictures, and you can't control what people say. And they try their best to control what people post, but you can't control what people post, and you can't control what people see it. You can't control at that point. Once one thing is posted, it can be screenshotted, and that can be shared, and one post has been duplicated into 20 posts. And that 20 posts has been duplicated into 200 posts. You see what I'm saying? That's one thing with social media that kind of gets carried away and get escalated, because we've all been in high school. We grew up in an era, I feel like, where social media really started driving in our early generation, in middle school, in high school. You know what I'm saying?
We came up in the Snapchat era.
Exactly.
I remember when Snapchat first came out. Oh, man, somebody sent me a snap. I was like, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah. But then you saw also though the drama that Snapchat brought. You saw the controversy that Snapchat was, and that how it was a tool that, of course, it wasn't meant to be used in a negative way,
it wasn't, but
or to hurt one or to hurt people. But you know that's as unfortunately as humans,
and that's another thing, man. As far as humans, like we just can't let social media just keep bringing people down.
Exactly. It shouldn't be used to spread a negative notion. And to go into somebody's comments and to tell somebody who may feel like they're beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, and who are we to tell somebody they're not?
No, then who are we? Like,
you know what I'm saying?
Who are we? We ain't nobody.
And I think that's a con that we get with social media. And I think that
people gotta stop letting that. Like, they gotta stop letting that.
People hide behind that. People hide behind the social media. People who will say one thing and act away on social media or in somebody's comments or on the Twitter feed is somebody who wouldn't dare have the fucking cojones to say that shit to the person in their face.
50% Mexican, by the way.
Just say that.
That's why he knows.
See the waves.
But no, yeah, dog. Like we were saying though, but nah, dude. Like, just you gotta understand, bro. The world's a beautiful place, and it can be real ugly sometimes. Social media just shows that sometimes it's easier to interact. It's easier to interact negatively, because a lot of people won't say stuff to your face. They'll just rather make a burner account and just talk shit about you. Or they might even do their own account, but they won't say it. I mean, social media makes that outlet real easy. You know what I mean? It won't even at you.
Yeah.
It makes the outlet real easy. But we gotta understand though, bro. That's the world we live in. You can't let that get to you. You can't.
And I'll see one thing that I've really tried to been working on, and I think I've told you, you know, all of our friends this in conversation over the past year and a half, is that I'm trying to use social media as like in a positive way, like in a way where you learn as a tool, because that's the thing that social
media what it was built for, man. That's what it was built for.
Like the main tool is to use it as one. Is to use it to learn. To use it as education. That one person with some knowledge, instead of having to go to a class or having to sign up for a webinar or seminar or whatever the hell, or go to a college university to get the knowledge that one already has, they build a social media brand off of their knowledge, off of education and spreading that education.
I love that.
Spreading that knowledge.
We're taking the power away from the government and putting it into the people where it should be.
Exactly.
Where it should be. Exactly. You can learn so much. You can learn a lot from social media. I ain't gonna lie. Like, you can learn a lot from social media. Get on YouTube. I already know. You can learn everything you can on YouTube. Everything you want to on YouTube. How to goddamn even plugging that goddamn light bulb. Yeah. You can look on YouTube how to do that. How to set up your washer and dryer. YouTube. You mean social media does that. How
to change your oil. How to change your flat tire.
Yeah.
How to do your taxes. How to get a credit score. How to build your credit. All these things are accessible to us. All these things are right there that if you have a concern, if you don't know exactly, we have resources right there. And for the most of us, I don't want to say all of us because not everybody is fortunate enough to have Wi-Fi or to have a home with home internet or have a smartphone that can go onto the internet. You know, not everybody has that, but for the most part, you know, we do, and you do, and that's the best way to really kind of look at it. Like right now, like this platform right here, like what we're doing here on this show, it's up. Why it started, like we said in the beginning, like this is with positivity. You know,
it's up in life.
Exactly.
It's up. Even when things you got a worst day at work, it's always up.
It's gotta, you know,
keep that in your mind, man. It's always up.
Always. Don't, you know, we'll talk about players and we'll critique them, you know, as far as in their profession, but we'll never pass judgment onto another man or woman about one's decision in life, because we're all human and we have all made plenty of mistakes and,
For sure.
and will never pass judgment. This is not what this is for. This is
This is a positive
when we
podcast.
have people on. You know what I'm saying? We want to sit there and celebrate what they have done and what they strive to do and share that with you, so you guys have an idea of essentially like what this is, and you know that everybody, no matter who you are, where you come from, what you do, and what your everyday life looks like. Guess what? We're all human, and we all just want to spread the love. You know what I mean?
No, I like that, brother. But let's keep. I mean, as far as that's why I want to get out this podcast on any topic. Like, let social media be a positive thing again, because it's becoming too much of a negative thing in the recent years. Because when we first got on Instagram, it was all positivity. You know, people posting what they're doing. People wouldn't usually see that. You know what I mean? Let's bring it back to the positivity, because I mean, social media can be a beautiful thing. It really can.
I remember everybody used to post the sunset.
Yeah.
You remember how everybody?
If it was a sunset out, everybody gonna post it.
Used to post the sunset, bro. And not you know, looking at the time, you know, you don't think nothing of it, you know, but you look at it now, and that was just one thing. It's like, damn, like if you didn't take the time to really get to see the sunset, like
you could have seen it on social media. Like,
you got to appreciate it. You got to, you know what I'm saying? That just brought good energy and positive vibes. You know what I'm saying? Because you know that's just how social media should be used. You know what I'm saying? That's how it was. And we definitely got to get back to that as civilization. You know what I'm saying? So,
okay, so I think every episode we're gonna talk about at least one or two unpopular opinions.
Got to.
At least.
Got to.
Next episode, we definitely will. I mean, I'm not gonna say every episode, but most of the episodes we're gonna have little guests.
Somebody for you.
We're gonna pick their brain.
You gotta have somebody for you.
It's gonna be people y'all want to see. Promise you that. We're gonna pick their brains. We're gonna talk our shit. They're gonna talk their shit. They're gonna let us know what y'all want to hear. We're gonna ask questions on social media, what y'all want to hear from the podcast. Any topics y'all want us to hit on, you know what I mean? And shit, just remember, it's always up, bro. It's my co-host Cam. Appreciate you, brother. Always. Love y'all. Appreciate you. Go ahead, you can say real quick. You had on
No, I do. It's gonna be this, you know, this.
You ain't gotta tell me what it is.
Steelers gonna win the division.
All right, that's great. We wrong with that.
That's your shit.
I was talking about shit. Yeah, I talk about shit.
Cut this shit now. Hold on now.
Nah, leave that in.
Cut this shit.
Yeah, baby, I know that's a fact. Nigga listen once, they be like, damn, why you snap like that? I just blacked and had a heart attack on the fucking track. Niggas peep, they see you moving, then they got a swagger jack. Call them on it, then you hating, nigga, that's a bunch of cap. Do me a favor and put it up on some paper.